Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 10, Chapter 29, Text 20. Matara Pitara Putra Bratara Patayaschava Vichinvanti Yapashyanto Makradvan Bandhu Sadvasam. Not finding you at home, your mothers, fathers, sons, brothers, and husbands are certainly searching for you. Don't cause anxiety for your family members. Someone can read.
Hare Krishna. Drishtam vanam kusmitam rakesh karanjitam yamuna anil jattaru pallav shobhitam tadyatma chiram goshtam shrushudhavam patin satihi krandanti vatsa balascha payayadurita. Now, you have seen this Vrindavan forest full of flowers and resplendent with the light of the full moon. You have seen the beauty of the trees, with their leaves trembling in the gentle breeze coming from the Yamuna. So now, go back to the cowherd village. Don't delay. O chaste ladies, serve your husbands and give milk to your crying babies and calves. Purport. Hare Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further explains text 22 as follows. Lord Krishna says, therefore don't wait a long time before going, but go immediately. The word Satitaha means that the gopis are loyal to their husbands. Therefore, Krishna indicates that the gopis should serve their husbands, so the latter can accomplish their religious duties, and that the gopis should also be considered worshipable because of their chastity. All this Krishna say to the gopis who are married. And now to the unmarried gopis, he says, the calves are crying, so see to it that they get milk. To the Munichari gopis, he says, your babies are crying, so feed them milk. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further reveals the hidden meaning of these two verses as follows. In text 21, Krishna might have said, this Vrindavan is very best of places, and moreover, this is a full moon night. Furthermore, we have the Yamuna on all sides, and there are cool, gentle, fragrant breeze blowing. These are all transcendental opulences that stimulate loving exchanges, and since I am also here as the foremost ecstatic opulence, the object of love, let us now test how much expertise you can show in relishing rasas. In text 22, he means to say, thus for a long time, for the entire duration of this night, don't leave, but rather stay here and enjoy with me. Don't go. Serve your husbands and the gentlewomen, your mother-in-law, and so forth. It won't it would not be fitting for you to waste such beauty and youth which are fitting, which are mother-in-law, which it would not be fitting for you to waste such beauty and youth which are gifts of the Creator. Nor should you milk the cows or give milk to the calves and babies. What do you, who are so full of aesthetic attraction for me, have to do with these affairs? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also explains that the gopis could not really be sure exactly what Krishna was doing, whether he was merely joking, inviting them to stay, or instructing them to return home. Thus, as Krishna spoke about the beauty of the forest, The gopis felt embarrassed and bewildered and looked upward at the trees. And as he spoke about the Yamuna, they looked all around at the river. Their absolute purity and simplicity, along with their absolute devotion to Lord Krishna in the conjugal mood, created the most beautiful pastime ever exhibited in this universe. Hari Bol.
Oh, Haribo. Yes, the absolute purity and simplicity, along with their absolute devotion to Lord Krishna. So this is the Rasa Lila, displaying the transcendental qualities of the cowherd ladies, cowherd girls of Vrindavan. And we see how different gopis are being described. Krishna says something to the gopis who are married. He tells them they should serve their husbands. But the unmarried girls, he tells them, you take care of the calves, get the milk. So different instructions for different gopis. They're not all on the same level. And then we have the Munichari gopis. Remember, the Munichari gopis are the sages from the Dandakaranya forest who were attracted to Lord Ramachandra and who desired to have a conjugal relationship. So they took birth in the family of the cowherd girls and family of the cowherd people. And now they're married and they've got babies, and he says to them, your babies are crying, so feed them milk. Take care of the babies. So this way he's addressing different levels of gopis, all the different levels of gopis. And then we're told also that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is describing some hidden meanings in the verses, describing, well, the beauty of the Vrindavan forest. Remember, it's the full moon night, the Sarat Purnima, right? The most beautiful month, the most beautiful day in the year is the Sarat Purnima, and comes just at the beginning of Kartik, I think. Like that, it's a very beautiful, and the moon is full, so the moon is cooling, and then we're told how the Yamuna is there on all sides. The Yamuna flows in such a way, almost like it's going around Vrindavan. So you've got the breeze coming from all directions from the Yamuna. 5,000 years ago, of course, the Yamuna was much bigger than what it is today. And there would be a nice breeze coming from her waters. And like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is describing Lord Krishna's mood, that this is all very wonderful. This is stimulating, loving exchanges. And Lord Krishna is ready to enjoy the pastimes with his devotees. And then text 22 continues, telling us more how Lord Krishna is saying to the gopis, don't leave. On one hand he's saying go, and the other hand he's saying don't go. Stay here and enjoy. Don't go to your husbands. Don't go home. Don't waste your beauty and youth. And don't even milk the cows or give milk to your calves and babies. Why not? Because you're meant for having loving affairs with Lord Krishna, and he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all of these things of the material world, they have to be neglected for the service of Lord Krishna. So the gopis are confused what to do. Is he joking? Is he telling them to stay? Is he telling them to go home? So Lord Krishna was speaking about the beauty of the forest, and the gopis are confused. They looked at the trees, they looked at the river, and in this way it's increasing the pleasure of Lord Krishna. He's enjoying seeing the purity and the simplicity of these girls and how they're completely surrendered to him. All right, we can go ahead. Someone read 23.
अथवा मत् अभिन्नेहाद् भवत्यो यन्त्रिताशयः आगता हि उपपन्नं वा प्रियन्ते मयि जन्तवः. On the other hand, perhaps you have come here out of your great love for me, which has taken control of your hearts. This is, of course, quite commendable on your part, since all living entities possess natural affection for me.
Lord Krishna is speaking as the Supreme Personality of Godhead here in this verse. But everyone is meant to love Krishna. So he's approving the gopis' love for him. Yeah, go ahead.
Bhartushushushanam strinam paro dharmo hi amayaya tad bandhunam cha kalyanaha prajanam cha anuposhanam. The highest religious duty for a woman is to sincerely serve her husband, behave well toward her husband's family, and take good care of her children. Srila Jiva Goswami astutely points out here that the gopis' real, eternal husband is Lord Krishna, not their so-called husbands at home, who falsely considered the gopis their property. Thus, a strict interpretation of the word amayaya, without illusion, reveals that the supreme religious duty for the gopis is to serve Sri Krishna, their real lover.
Yes, Lord Krishna is the eternal husband. Right? But all women actually belong to Krishna. So Lord Krishna is the eternal husband. And other men thinking this is my wife, that actually that's wrong. The husbands are thinking that she's my property, but actually it's all Krishna's property. All women belong to Krishna. Okay, go ahead.
Ratna or Vaishali?
Bhaktipriya Mataji, you can also read. Yeah.
Bhakti, please.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Bhagavatam Jaturakya Adano Vipivat Rike Saturbrina Hatayo Rake Prashu Apa Kataki Hare Krishna. 我们 who deserve a good distinction in the next life should never abandon a husband who has not fall from his regression. Start, even if he is the obnoxious would fall bottom of the unlimited skin or poor. Hare Krishna. I can't speak English, sorry. Too long. Who can help me?
Okay, I can. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes a similar statement from Smriti Shastra. Patim tva apitam bhajet. One should serve a master who is not fallen. Sometimes the foolish argument is given that even if a husband falls down from spiritual principles, his wife should continue to follow him since he is her guru. In fact, since Krishna consciousness cannot be subordinated to any other religious principle, a guru who engages his follower in materialistic, sinful activities loses his status as a guru. Srila Prabhupada stated that the system of monarchy collapsed in Europe because the monarchs abused and exploited their position. Similarly, in the Western world, men have abused and exploited women, and now there is a popular movement in which women reject the authority of their husbands. Ideally, men should be staunch in spiritual life and give pure, sincere guidance to the women under their care. The gopis, of course, being on the highest platform of spiritual perfection, were transcendental to all positive and negative religious considerations. In other words, they were the eternal lovers of the Absolute Truth.
Okay, so there's a very interesting purport here about serving the husband. Women should never abandon a husband who is not fallen, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly, or poor. And so this is, of course, it's a great challenge, but chaste women like that will be faithful to the husband. So in the purport, they give some argument that, well, if the husband falls from his spiritual standards, then is she allowed to give him up? Just like Guru, the Guru engages his disciples, like Sukracharya tried to engage Bali Maharaj. He told Bali Maharaj, don't give charity to Lord Vamanadev. So Bali Maharaj gave up Sukracharya because Sukracharya was giving contradictory instructions. He was telling him, initially he would tell him, give charity to the Brahmanas. And when Lord Vamanadev came as a Brahmana, he said, don't give him. He'll take everything. But anyway, Bali Maharaj disobeyed his guru. And he gave everything to Lord Vamanadev. So we're given some other examples about monarchy collapsing in Europe. And on the Western world, how men have abused women. We have also the example in the Vedic culture, how the Brahmanas were conducting animal sacrifice, and Lord Buddha came, and Lord Buddha led the people away from the Vedas because the people were killing animals in the name of under the instruction of the Brahmanas. The Brahmana culture had become corrupt and degraded, and Lord Buddha came and led the people away from the Varnashram system. So the Lord arranges to correct things. Prabhupada had a difficult time. Sometimes in the West, he was preaching about how the brain of the woman is a different size from the man. And of course, this was at the time when the women movement was just coming into force. The women were taking more and more positions. Of course, in the past, women were not taken care of. There was even a movement called the suffragette movement, where the women were protesting. They wanted the vote because initially they were not even given the vote. Only the men could vote. So the problem is unqualified men. That the men are not very qualified to guide and to give protection to the women. And similarly, we get gurus also who are sometimes only interested in taking advantage, getting material facilities from people, and they don't give real spiritual guidance to their followers. So here the gopis, we're told the gopis were transcendental to all religious considerations. So they didn't think about their duties. They were simply thinking about their service to Krishna. And they simply wanted to do everything to please Lord Krishna. Yes? Any questions, ladies? Any comments on this?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. So, Dandavat Pranam. So what they're trying to say is that it is equally for on the both of their parts, like for men and women. So like women should be chaste and men should be able to as a guru, as a protector, should able to give them protection. And so together, if they are together and they serve Krishna and keeps Krishna in the center in the family, then it's good for the entire community and for the families also. So
Yes,
the right. So
that's right. Yes, you've got it. Both have to be, there's a responsibility on both parts, both the men and the women. The women must be chaste and faithful, and the men must be qualified to take proper care and give protection and not to exploit the women. You know, the woman is not just there to serve. Of course, women, of course, they will serve, but they have to feel that they're being properly taken care of. The husband has to protect them materially and spiritually. He has to take care to see that the wife is also able to advance spiritually. He has to encourage her in her religious duties. The problem today is that we get often unqualified men And the women, of course, not properly taken care of. They're dissatisfied. And that's why you get divorced. Yes?
Yeah. And just one more clarification, Guru Maharaj, on this, that yes, we have seen that. So it is recommended not to take divorce. But if somebody, like how we see, due to under some circumstances, they take, so it should be avoided. But if it is not, then they can, or they should try not to. So, like, just for a guidance, that is it totally wrong, or under circumstances it is okay?
Well, certain circumstances it may be okay. Yes. We cannot just say it's totally wrong. Of course, we don't encourage it.
Yeah.
But certain circumstances, there may be no alternative.
Okay.
But divorce, you see, the problem is what happens, people divorce, then they want to remarry.
Mm.
You see? So divorce actually means become a widow.
Oh.
Not to say, you're divorced and you go and look for another husband. You see, this is the problem. The women who were married and then they divorce, then they go and look for another husband. This is not how it should be. You can see, and there's an instance in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. What happened was the one son-in-law of one devotee insulted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to his home, and the son-in-law insulted Lord Chaitanya. So the father, the father of the girl, was very upset that his son-in-law had insulted Lord Chaitanya. And he told his daughter that from now on you're a widow. Give up he said that husband of yours is useless. So you're now a widow. I didn't say that, you go and find a new husband or we'll find you another husband.
Yeah.
So you're a widow now. Your marriage has not been successful. Right?
Got the point. Good. Hare Krishna.
Text 26. Aspargyam ayasasyam cha paugo krishnam vaham jugupsitam cha sarvatra yopapatyam kulastriya. Translation: For a woman from a respectable family, petty adulterous affairs are always condemned. They bar her from heaven, ruin her reputation, and bring her difficulty and fear. So we're hearing some of the things, you see. If a woman commits some adultery, then what is the result? What happens to her? She cannot go to heaven. Her reputation is ruined. So many problems come. So this is definitely what you want to avoid. Adultery. It's very disturbing for a family. if one of the girls in the family commits adultery, then it's certainly not good. Yes? Someone wants to read 27.
Hare Krishna. श्रवणात् दर्शनात् ध्यानात् मयि भावो अनुकीर्तनात् न तथा सन्निकर्षेण प्रतीयात् ततो ग्रहाण. Translation. Transcendental love for me arises by the devotional processes of hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating on me, and faithfully chanting my glories. The same result is not achieved by mere physical proximity, so please go back to your homes. Purport. Lord Krishna is certainly presenting formidable arguments.
All right, so transcendental love arises by devotional activities, describing how we can awaken transcendental love. The same result is not achieved just by being close, mere physical proximity. Lord Krishna is pointing out it's not just being close to someone. Someone may be close to the spiritual teacher. It doesn't mean that they're getting any great, or that they're great devotees. Prabhupada used to say, he said, the bugs, the insects, they may also sit on the body of the guru, but they bite, they suck the blood. They don't do any good. So sometimes people are close, they sit close, but they don't have that real mood of surrendering and hearing. So Lord Krishna is telling the gopis that just being close to me is not enough. It's not important. You should go back to your home. Yes. Text 28. Sri Shuka Vacha iti vipriyam akanya gopyo govinda bhashitam vishana bhagna sankalpash chintam apur duratyayam. Sukadev Goswami said, hearing these unpleasant words spoken by Govinda, the gopis became morose. Their great hopes were frustrated, and they felt insurmountable anxiety. Purport. The gopis did not know what to do. They considered falling at Krishna's feet and crying for his mercy, or perhaps remaining aloof and going back to their homes. But they could do neither of these things, and so felt great anxiety. This Lord Krishna is putting the gopis into this anxiety because they have so much attachment to Krishna, so much love for him. They want to please him. So this way Lord Krishna is enjoying seeing how much they're eager to please Krishna, to do what he wants. If he wants them to go home, they're ready to go back. But does he want them to go home, or does he want them to stay? Go ahead, text 29.
कृत्वा मुखानि अवशूच्य श्वसनेन शुष्यत् बिम्बादराणि चरणेन भुवलिखन्त्यः अस्रे उपातात्तमसिपि कुचकुङ्कुमानि तस्तुर्मृजन्त्य पुरु उतुक्ख वरास्मथुष्णिम्. Their heads hanging down and their heavy sorrowful breathing drying up their reddened lips, the gopis scratched the ground with their toes. Tears flowed from their eyes, carrying their Kajala and washing away the vermilion smeared on their breasts. Thus they stood silently, bearing the burden of their unhappiness. The gopis felt if Krishna has not been conquered by our love, then our love must not be genuine. And if we cannot properly love Krishna, what is the use of our lives? Their reddish lips were drying up because of the hot breathing that arose from their unhappiness. When the hot sun dries ripe, red bimba fruits, dark spots appear on them and they grow soft. The beautiful lips of the gopis similarly changed in appearance. They stood silently before Krishna, unable to speak.
So this is the behavior when the young girl, they're not sure what to do, they're in anxiety, they scratch the ground with their toes. Rukmini also did this at one point when Krishna was talking with him. So the gopis are they're so deeply attached to Krishna, so that the whole situation is causing them so much anxiety, heavy breathing, and tears from their eyes washing everything. Oh, this is their unhappiness. Can we read one more?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Shilpa ji, you can read, yeah.
Preshtam priyetarameva pratibhasamanam Krishnam tadartha vinivartita sarvakamaha Netre vrimejya rudito pahate smakinche Samram bhagadgadagiro pruvat anuraktaha. Although Krishna was their beloved, and although they had abandoned all other objects of desire for his sake, he had been speaking to them unfavorably. Nonetheless, they remained unflinching in their attachment to him. Stopping their crying, they wiped their eyes and began to speak, their voices stammering with agitation. The gopis now replied to Sri Krishna, their voices choking up with anger caused by their intense love for him and their unwillingness to give him up. They would not allow him to reject them.
Jai. This is the dealing between the gopis and Lord Krishna. Very sweet, very loving. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop. Tomorrow we can hear what the gopis have to say.
Thank you so much, Lagurudev.
Thank you.
Hare,
So,
Hare
His Holiness
Krishna.
Bhakti Vigna Vinash Nishma Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Gurudev. I'm gonna stop the recording. Stop.